Hi everyone! Awkward moments. That's what we're going to be talking about today. You know those times when you've done online dating, which I'm sure a lot of you have. You don't know who you're going to meet. Let's face it, it doesn't matter what their profile says. It doesn't matter what their online pictures say, because people lie.
You never know what
you never
you're
know. And so I'm Andrea, the Fearless Love Coach, and of course I've got my buddy with me today, Honest Steve.
Hello.
If you don't know that, we're based in Manchester in the UK, and we're actually driving around right now in his posh car, in his Alfa Romeo.
See, style as well as substance.
So let's just get on with it. So, have you experienced those awkward moments, you know, when you've gone online dating and you've talked to the guy, or the guy's talked to the girl, and you seem to get on really well on the messenger, on the phone even, but what happens when you actually meet on the date and it doesn't look like what you thought? Maybe it doesn't have the same hair, maybe the pictures are like 10, 20 years younger. I know some of you out there have really experienced that.
Been there, done that.
Or maybe he actually is attractive, but the conversation is boring, it's dull, and you know, I do not want to see this guy again. But you're on a date, and we don't like to be rude, we like to be polite, don't we?
We do.
But we're going to talk about those awkward moments just because it's fun. And I want to know how you guys handle it. So leave your comments below. Tell me about your awkward moments in dating. So you've done online dating, haven't you, Steve?
A lot of online dating.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like everything in life. It has its pluses and minuses. I'd rather have it than not have it, even though it can be a nightmare, and it's obviously a right minefield. I still think that it's a great opportunity, and if you, for all we moan about it, if you took it away, you know, you've probably knocked off 50% of your chances to meet somebody in the modern world now, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if you're over 30, then it's quite natural and normal now to meet people through online dating, and it's great. Online dating is great if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
So let's imagine you've been on this date, and you as the woman, you're not feeling it, but you know he is kind enough to actually say, I'll take you home.
Right. Oh, this is just the worst.
And you say yes. And it comes to the point where it's actually stopped off at your house.
Oh.
And it's those awkward moments. Now, I'm sure you've had some of those.
Oh,
Steve.
God. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even if I take away the dropping off thing, that awkward moment at the end of a date, let's just say it's the first. Wait, it could even be that initial date, couldn't it? You know, which for me,
first date. It's always the first 3 dates at least.
So for me, I think most people know within seconds whether it's got legs or not to even give it an attempt. But for me, I'm going to draw on my own experiences in this scenario. I've been on many. I'm going to call them a meet rather than a date.
Yeah, he doesn't go on first dates.
Well, I learned a long time ago that if you arrange a date, and I did this when I was an online newbie. You know, you got people going, oh, on Friday, let's go such and such on a Friday night, and you thought, yeah, why not? And then you realise you're stuck with someone that looks like nothing like the pictures, and you've arranged a whole night out.
A whole night, I know.
So you quickly realise that ain't going to work, and you've got to go back to let's just do a coffee. And I know there's some people out there, oh, anything but coffee. Well, yeah, for a first proper date, but for an initial meet, a coffee's good enough for me. And you know, just an hour tops.
Yeah.
And not on a Friday night or a Saturday night when you could be doing something better. Just an easy one.
Prime time. Friday and Saturdays, prime time.
Don't go wasting that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So I've been there. So you go and meet this person, and you know within seconds or within minutes that it's not for you. You get to the end of it, but it's gone all right. It's sort of gone right quite
and
well.
We're polite. We are polite.
Absolutely, especially when I live by the sun, die by the sun. I'm always truly polite.
But and I think sometimes that's the problem. I think that sometimes that's the problem is that
I do think if perhaps people, and certainly I'm guilty of this, I can be too polite.
Too polite.
You know, for your own good, and it's so hard, isn't it? Because what do? You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings.
So many women who come to me and they get very upset is when, okay, let's talk about when he says, "I'll call you."
Don't call me.
You as a woman, you like him. You feel that the date has gone really, really well. You feel as if you've laughed a lot, you find him attractive, you've had a nice meal, or you know, whatever the date was.
Yeah. And
you're excited and you're keen and you know that you're keen. And he says, go on, I'll call you.
I'll call you.
Yeah, go on, you have been guilty of this.
Oh my God, yeah, I have been guilty of this. But I mean, you try to get away with the minimum fuss, don't you? In this scenario, I'm thinking, oh God, what do I say? I don't want to see this person again, but I don't want to be impolite. She's really nice. Let's just assume that it's one of the ones she's a dead nice person. I'm getting along with her, but it's just not there. The chemistry's not there. So what do I do now? Don't want to hurt this person, but at the same time, I want to get out of there as quickly as possible with a minimum fuss.
So he lies.
Well, you know.
There's no other way to say it.
Oh God, I know.
Just say it as it is. Say it as it is.
It might be that. I mean, I think I'm.
He's not going to say it.
I know. I have said I'll call you, and haven't. I have. I'm not saying I have done that, but I'm thinking of other things I might have said, because you're really in a scramble at this point.
Yeah.
And this time.
So you have said I'll call you, knowing very clear, 100%, you have no intentions of doing that.
I have. Yeah, I have.
Guilty.
Yeah. Guilty as charged.
But ladies, I'm sure you've done that too. But
I've had it done to me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah,
I know. And the thing is, it is awkward, especially if you're female, obviously, and you don't want to be in a situation where you think that he's going to get upset.
No.
And you don't know how it's going to go. There was one story of one of my friends told me that she went on a first date, and it kind of was a little bit awkward when they went out for dinner.
Right. Oh,
and
so
a very expensive dinner as well.
Was this the first one, by the way?
This was the first date. Online dating,
See,
first date.
Told you, coffee.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't. You get a feel for someone sometimes, and you go with it. Yeah. But when you're not quite sure, going out for a big meal is a big deal.
God.
And he's going to be investing a lot of his money, so he did spend a considerable amount of money on a first date. He was very, very keen, but she wasn't. And at the end of the night, he asked her, well, I'd love to see you again. Do you want to see me? And she just kind of froze.
Oh, he actually said, do you want to see me?
He did.
Right.
And she's very upfront and straight, and so she said, well, actually, I'm sorry, but no. Exactly.
I'm dying even listening to it.
Yeah. And so, what happened was he kind of freaked out. He flipped out.
Oh, he actually got in a mood about it?
Oh, yeah, more than a mood. He got really...
she was right then, wasn't she?
Aggressive, yeah. And he said, I've spent all this money on you, I liked you, and this is the way you treated me. So luckily they're in a public situation, but the problem was, had she been driven home in a car, that could have really, lady, you got to think about this, about what you do say. Even though I'm really all for kind of straight up and honesty, and safety is important.
I'd say that was unusual, though.
Yeah, that is unusual. It's the first I've ever heard that. But tell me your stories.
It'd be interesting to see whether other women have experienced that. I'd say it's unusual to have somebody that's prepared to go that far, and you'd be upset that you've wined and dined and spent quite a lot of money on a very expensive, by the sound of it, a very expensive meal.
It was a very expensive.
But two things I'd say about that was a more fool you for taking the chance, and blokes more fool him for taking the chance before he knew her well enough. And B, well, if he's taking it for that much of a meal, I would imagine he could probably afford it. So to be aggressive about it, you can't force these things, can you? He's taking his chance.
He was upset.
Yeah, I get it.
It doesn't condone it. But what I'm saying is, this is about, at those times, to understand why sometimes people lie. Like Steve's saying, he said,
I've said I'll give you a ring.
I'll give you a ring, I'll give you a call, and he doesn't. Why? Because, good guys, and we're talking about good guys here,
you just don't
still will lie.
Yeah.
And why? Because
it's awkward.
And they want to make sure that you're happy. they don't want to feel uncomfortable, they feel uncomfortable. So sometimes this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the downside for you as women is that you think he's going to call and you get upset, of course. But if you understand that it's a part of online dating, it's a part of life.
It's part of dating, full stop, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, somebody could set you up on a blind date, couldn't they? And you could
Yeah.
feel exactly the same way, and you'd be in exactly the same situation, wouldn't you? Where you think, yeah, this person's nice, I don't want to upset them, what do I do? And you are, literally, it's the bullet of the gun, isn't it? This isn't contrived in any way. You're on the spot. It's
Yeah.
that thing where you think, right, it's time to get out of here. What do I say? And if somebody, I mean, I think if somebody actually said to me, would you like to see me again? And I genuinely didn't, I'd probably find a way to cobble through admitting that I didn't think it was going to go anywhere.
Well, have you or haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what have you said? Let's hear tell some ladies. What have you said? So you know in advance.
I'm dredging here now. I'm trying to think of a.
I've got one.
Go on, because I've done this. I know, but I've been on that many, and I've not been on that many dates for years now. You know, like it's been a long time since I've been dating regularly as I was doing. So I'm having to just rack my brains on the spot.
So things that he might say, and you'll probably know instinctively that something isn't quite right.
Right.
A quick story of one girl that I know who she really found this guy very, very attractive. They went out, had a great time. He was
Right.
dropping her home, and literally they had a kiss, goodbye, and literally as she opened the door, he said, "Have a nice week." And she never heard from him again.
And the fact that he said, have a nice week, she'd have known straight away that wasn't, I'll give you a ring in a couple of days, speak to you on Tuesday. It was, have a nice week. In other words, I won't be seeing you or speaking to you for the next week at least. Enjoy.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's highly unlikely you're going to hear from that guy again. And you're going to feel, if you hear something like that, you're going to feel a little bit confused. Definitely.
I'd be confused because I mean, I'm assuming that he instigated that kiss. You said it was a nice kiss. Now, obviously, if she instigated it,
well,
it's
yeah, they spent the night together.
Oh.
You know, this was the second date. This was date 2 we're talking about.
Second base.
Well, more than second base.
That's what I mean. Well,
Yeah.
third, but oh my god. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
at his house, and he lived like an hour away. He drove her all the way home.
Oh.
You know, and actually randomly, his sister was in town, and so she went out with him and his sister and his sister's husband, and so she thought, game on, I'm in. This is great, and that's how how it was left. Have a nice week, and she never heard from him again.
Oh, this is just.
But
so
it's an
bad.
awkward moment, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I have to say, I think I've been there too.
what do you mean? You've done that?
I think I've been there. Not the drop-off thing, but I think I've been in a situation in the early stages of dating where things have gone to the next level.
Oh, to the next level. Next level.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I've decided it's just not for me, and just they call it ghosting nowadays, don't they? When you go quiet
when he
on
disappears.
someone. Yeah, I think I've ghosted people. Yeah.
Hi,
I feel
say
terrible.
hi so we know who you are.
I feel terrible. I'm listening
You feel
to.
bad now,
I'm
don't
listening
you?
to the scenario about the guy with the girl. The scenario, and I'm thinking, I'm dying here. Like, oh, it's
Because
awkward.
you do
But then I
it,
think I've
people
done
get
it too.
hurt, people get hurt.
I know. Well, likewise,
People get
we've all had it done to us too. It's not like it's always one-way street. We've all been on the receiving end of liking somebody and them saying, "I'll give you a ring," or "Oh, we'll sort something out," is what I do. And I've had that to me as well. "Oh yeah, we'll sort something out." Poof, the door's gone.
So vagueness, ladies, if there's any
vagueness.
Yeah,
I think if people genuinely want to see,
sometime.
Yeah, I actually think you're right. That we've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I think if somebody genuinely wants to see you again, before you actually part ways, somebody's going to try and nail down, well, shall I give you a ring tomorrow,
yes.
I'll text you later, or something, rather than just we'll sort something out, or speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon.
Have a nice week.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a nice life.
So ladies, what do you do when you're not feeling it and you know he is, and he's dropping you home, and it's like maybe he goes in for the kiss?
Oh! What
That's
do you do when someone
happened.
goes in? I suppose a girl could so easily turn and just get the kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, I'm sure you've done
Yeah,
that.
you could do that. I know if I was on the receiving end of that. I think if I was on the receiving end of that, I'd find that quite clear.
Yeah.
If I went to kiss a girl, which I'm never quite sure.
Do you do that on the first date?
No, I'm fine. No. I'm a bit too polite for my own good,
okay.
And I think sometimes perhaps a woman would like it, but because I'm probably crap at reading the signals, I'd be thinking I'm not going to go. It's too presumptuous for me.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not going to go in for a kiss unless it's fucking got a neon sign around it that she wants me to go in for a kiss.
How would you know? Actually,
I don't know. I suppose she'd be giving off something. I think she'd be giving off something.
Essence.
Maybe she'd move in. You know, like she'd possibly move in closer in the car, if it was in the car or something. You both sort of, I think you'd find yourself naturally moving across to the middle of the car. And I think if she moved towards you, it's sort of a sign. Whereas if she sort of, perhaps not goes, but you know, perhaps stays firmly seated, maybe gives you the side of the face job. I think that's probably pretty clear for me. But yeah, I think if she moved in maybe and was looking me in the eye, I'd possibly think there was a chance. But I'm pretty shit at reading that, and I definitely need a neon sign because the polite
goes back to what I said. You've got to give clear signals, but we're talking about when she's sure she doesn't want to see you again, but you're keen.
That's what I'm saying. So let's just say, for instance, I did have the neon, or I'd misread the neon sign, and I went to give her a kiss, and she turned and it went smack on the cheek. I would think, shit, she ain't that keen.
Well, yeah.
Now, would a woman think that? If she went in for the kiss because she thought she'd read the signs, and the guy turned and she smacked him on the cheek, would she think, awkward? Well, that didn't go well.
Yeah, I think that'd be a very clear sign.
I think this is one of those social etiquette things where it's actually different for guys and girls, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the girl would expect the guy to instigate that.
The first time initially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Especially if you've just met online and it's awkward.
It's a social etiquette thing, isn't it?
Where
really the guy's got to do all the work, haven't they?
But ladies, what I want to know is when you've been in those situations, and I'm sure lots of you have, how do you handle it when you know that you're definitely not keen and you don't know him well at that stage, but he is? How do you handle it? What do you do?
The poor guy. Now I'm feeling sorry for the fact that he's keen and she isn't. What does she do?
Yeah. But I know that's something you would have said. Yeah,
it would be something on that. Right, okay, well, I'll give you a ring. I don't think she'd say give me a ring.
No.
I think she'd be going like, right, I'll give you a ring. Or I'll send you a text, you know, and then she'd be like trying to get out as fast as possible, wouldn't she? She'd be like trying to make a sharp
Let's
exit.
stay in touch.
Let's
stay in touch. That's another one.
Zoinks! Proper Scooby-Doo's it out of the car.
Exactly. Boom. You're gone.
Breaks the glass as she slams the door shut and sets fire to the path as she runs to the front door. Keys already out. I think that's a clear sign.
But ladies, if that's you, really what I want you to do, even if in those moments you're not going to be honest with him, which I completely understand, at least, especially if you know his interest and he's asked and he wants to see you again, don't ghost them. Just be honest. Send a message and just be honest and say, look, I had a nice time with you. Thank you for taking me out on a date. If he spent some money on you on a date and you're not attracted to him, still appreciate that someone has gone out of their way and he's invested some money on a date. He's tried to make conversation, whether you enjoyed it or not. Still be thankful and be grateful and appreciative of that. And I always tell all my ladies to do that. And you share and talk honestly and say, well, I wasn't feeling it for you, I'm really sorry, but I don't want to see you again and I wish you all the best. I
have to say, now that because obviously I was said, as I mentioned a few minutes earlier, it's been a long time since I've been regularly dating. But the scenario we're talking about now, I've been in many, many, many times. You could say that I'm fortunate enough to be the one who isn't as keen, and hence why I've been in it many, many times is the only reason I'm saying that. And I think what you've just said is what I've done. I've tried to cut it short at the end of the date itself, face to face, with, you know, I'll give you a ring or I'll give you a text, or, you know, I'll whatever, be in touch or something. And then I think I've gone home, sort of sweated on it for half an hour as to how to word the text, because it's 1,000 times easier on text, isn't it? And again, it's a sign of the times, and it's bloody awful. But well, at least you tell them rather than ghosting someone. And I've done that. And I think I've done that more often than not. I've done the text, you know. So at least you tell them. I have done, yeah. Albeit in, you know, the chicken shit way, really, by text. I've done it by text rather than there and then, in the heat of the moment, having to say to someone, look someone in the eye and basically say, look, I don't think it's gonna work. It's not for me, you know. I don't. What do you say? I don't even know what to say now.
Well, I've just said what, you know. That's
face to face. I don't even know what to say. It's a bit like that. You know, do you watch First Dates?
No, I haven't seen it. But
You need to watch that because they do it. They do it at the end. You know, they have the first date and people sit down and with an interview, and the interviewer goes, "So, do you want to see each other again?" And they're on telly. They're on telly as well, and nobody wants to ever say it first. They look at each other and go, "You go first." No, you go first. And you can see they're dying. And I think, yeah, that's so real, because that's that same thing. It's all right if you've got an arrogant streak.
I'm not saying that it's being arrogant. If you're going to be honest, no, I completely disagree with that.
Do you?
Completely disagree.
I'm not saying it's an arrogant thing to do. What I'm saying is, I think you have to have an arrogant streak to be able to deliver the killer blow to someone's face, even though it's the right thing to do in many ways. I think it's hurtful, and I mean,
they're going to get hurt either way.
Yeah,
and that's a part of life, isn't it?
I'm thinking about it. I think would I rather have the text letting me down gently, or would I rather have something like the Iron Lady just giving it to me? Yeah, what would you
prefer? Would you prefer to, if you on a date and you liked him, would you prefer to know face to face? Actually,
I think not. I think I would like to be let down gently. I think I would prefer to be let down gently by text, so I could. So my face could contort and hold back the tears in private, rather than trying to put a brave face on it when someone delivers the killer blow to my face, and and the shock and awe and the discomfort of that. I think I'd rather would have the let me down gently text actually.
Yeah. So even if he says
that,
"Hi Graham, hi, how are you doing? Tell me about your first dates. If you remember, I don't know whether you're single or you're with someone." But if you remember the times when you've been on first dates, maybe you've done some online dating, and those awkward moments, perhaps he or she hasn't looked like as you've imagined or as they've sold themselves.
Oh yeah, been there too. That's for another day.
And even if they look great, the conversation is really boring and dull, or there really just is no chemistry. There's zero attraction, but we're polite.
Yeah.
And it's how to handle those awkward moments. And what do you do? There is no right or wrong way to do it.
No, there isn't.
Unfortunately.
There isn't. I'm glad. I mean, as a nation, I think most of us are pretty polite. And that first dates is another great example, because almost always when you know one of them or both of them isn't feeling it, you know, they'll turn around and go, I think we're better as friends.
As friends.
The friend zone straight away.
Graham.
Friend zone.
Well, I don't know anyone who've actually said that, you know, put in the friend zone, not on their first date. But actually, I do know some people who have been honest enough. Actually, they went out, they arranged this again, a big massive date. They went go for a walk. They arranged to go for a walk.
Oh, bad idea. You're stuck with them.
Lunch,
You're stuck with them.
And then he realised on the walk, no way. And he actually told her, and it was totally fine. They ended up actually being friends. So you have to be able to gauge the situation.
Yeah. I do think,
really.
you can gauge. You could gauge with some people. Some people are a bit more easy to read than others.
Yeah.
But certainly, as a general rule, you know, it's almost always going to be on a first date. It almost would be that you've met them online, so you don't know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Who's going to turn up? You know, you probably make your mind up within 0.12 of a second whether it's a yay or an A anyway, or an initial. Yeah. And then you've got through this date thing, and obviously if you've set yourself up for a fall with this walk or this flipping meal or whatever with somebody you haven't met, oh my god.
I think that's a lot for a first date. I think that personally, I think that's a lot. And I like your idea about just keeping it to a coffee, keep it simple.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many people tell you it's boring and it's you know, it's obvious. Yeah, it's boring. Yes, it's obvious, but it's cheap, it's easy, it's over and done with. Allocate an hour of your life, you've lost nothing. You could have met the love of your life. You could have met, well, as always, as seems to be the case, another letdown.
So I want to know, ladies, how do you handle it when he says he wants to see you again, but you know that you don't?
I think she'll.
Well, you've been in that situation.
Yeah, well, we've gone over it actually. We've really got two realistic options here. One is you're hard enough, brave enough, whatever you want to call it, to say there and then, actually, no, it's not going to work for me. I'm not feeling it, or whatever. And the other is to just make your excuses, get gone as quickly as you can, and do the let you down gently text.
Don't ghost. really don't ghost. I'm really
bad.
so.
I've been ghosted. It really got to me. I got
that
ghosted.
really bothers me, especially because the women who come to me, they're hurting. He said he was going to call.
Oh, I've had that.
And I said, well,
you
that
know
was
what?
a month ago.
I bet that always happens with the
Is
ones
he still
that
interested? No, he's not interested.
He's really not. No.
He's really not interested.
And I'll bet you any money that always happens with the ones that you like the most as well.
Typically, I'm sure it does.
Inevitably, yeah.
I'm sure it does.
Absolutely, yeah. Been there, done that, I'll tell you now.
Everyone's been burned. Everyone's been burned.
Oh, God, yeah. I got frazzled.
So
it's payback, wasn't it? It was karma.
And so we've come to that point where we talked about, the initial dates, the initial time of dating where you've met online and either you're into him or he's into you and you're not, or you're into him and he's not. Maybe you're both actually into each other, which of course does happen, but we're talking about those moments when it doesn't. How do you handle it?
I think, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not sorry to interrupt. He loves interrupting.
When you said, when you said maybe you're both into each other, well, I suppose that doesn't matter.
Yeah, then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but what if you're both not into each other? Well, that's also easy because I think you'd both want to make a sharp exit.
Yeah.
I think you'd both accept a sort of slightly futile, awkward sort of, I'll give you a ring. Yeah, fine, no problem.
You do the fake
Piss
smile.
off.
I bet you do the fake smile, don't you?
Yeah.
And you kind of run as fast as both of you kind of.
You both want to be as economical as possible.
Yeah,
so you're both fully accepting of an economical sort of response. And then it's like, yeah, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah, because that happened to my friend, and she knew, not interested. He definitely knew, not interested.
Yeah.
And he dropped her home. She went bye. He went bye. Yeah. That was clear. Done.
I'd be very surprised if many people have done anything any different. Have done anything any different to what we've been saying.
Yeah.
Everybody would have been on the receiving end of that. Everybody would have been on dishing that scenario out, and I think everybody's probably also been in a scenario where neither of them are feeling it, and it's easy. I don't know. There's not. This happens to all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just part of it. It's part, and if you've been doing lots of online dating, and I know some of you are like fed up with it. Just fed up with it. Just fed up with it. But I do have. In my coaching program, I have like a very clear step-by-step system that's going to take you smoothly through online dating. Ooh, but you want to know what it is, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You do.
Sign me up.
To avoid all those awkward moments, when you know this dating system, honestly, it's really easy, it's really smooth, and these awkward moments actually don't happen. They become very, very rare. But still.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can learn something here. Come all these years doing it all wrong.
Yeah, this is a car show and it's great. We're just driving around. There was only 30 minutes ago like hailstone coming down in Manchester, and it's beautiful now. It's gorgeous.
I know, look at this.
So, thanks for joining us for our Facebook Live. I love talking about dating and relationships.
Funny, isn't it?
I am Andrea, the Fearless Love Coach. I show strong, sassy single women how to love without fear, how to lead with their feminine power to attract and keep their Mr. Right. It's not about just getting any guy, but it's attracting and keeping the right guy for a long-term, meaningful, loving relationship. How about that, Steve?
I think that sounds great.
Sounds great.
If only it was me.
And only Steve is the guy next door. He represents the guy next door. Is going to give you his honest truth. No gurus, no experts. We just want to know how real guys think, and he's completely honest.
Totally impartial, totally honest.
Doesn't care. Says it as
very
it is.
much not an expert. just telling you how I see it now, and I've been there and done that.
So thanks for joining us. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to find somewhere nice, maybe to get something to eat or a drink or something. We'll just see. But bye for now. Bye, Graham. Bye.
Bye.